a story of contrast. This morning we did the push-ups test that is within the Uncommon system with the local men who are building the village here on Ari Island. I also spoke with one of the men who worked in strategy with Uber, who built the Uber Eats app, about user experience and about where we're going with the Uncom operating system. He can see already that there is a big tech play here with what we've built and the engagement that we're getting, and it actually works to improve people's health, performance, and financial ability. The dream of geographical freedom and physical freedom, financial freedom, is being accomplished within our app, and we have the data to prove it. That is worth many millions of dollars. The cool thing about what we're doing is with these founding players who are coming in on this $2,000 per year offer is that you actually are qualifying for shares as you purchase your investment in this education system, which actually works. I've coached rugby players and I have a proven record of winning with rugby players. I chose to leave that behind to focus on winning in life, to help others to win geographical freedom and financial freedom, because I value that more highly than winning championships. The system has taken a long time to develop. It hasn't been smooth, but now it is working very, very well, and it's getting better week after week, month after month. We're turning this into a 4-year education program. And so those who begin now, they don't just get the discount of the $2,000 rather than $12,000 this year, it's for the 4 years. And so those who've already done a year or those who are already part of Real Movement, they also have recognized the work that they've already done with me. I'm loyal to the people that I've already worked with. And this opportunity that we've created is like no other. We now have this success technology app. I don't see anyone working in the tech space who legitimately is looking to guarantee the future of mankind through a winning philosophy of athletic, richer and smarter. It's a big ideal, but if you have a look at what's actually going on, if you have a look at what's going on in the lives of these men, if it works for a few hundred men, then it can work for a lot more. Today I had that conversation with local men here in Vanuatu. They want to have nice houses for their family. They want their children to grow up well. I can pave a clear path for that future for them through them doing a great job in the work that they're doing here to build this village together with Tom Raines. I can't help but have a lot of business ideas. When I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, how do I make the lives better for these men? And so I'm thinking about farming opportunities. I'm thinking about how we can use some of the beautiful local hardwood timber to make things that they can sell. I'm thinking about very rare usage, handcrafted things that I can sell at a premium that are going to transform the lives of these men and their families. But just like with them, I gave them the invitation. I said, look, this is how I'm wired. This is how my ancestors have been. For many generations, my ancestors have got up early, they've worked hard, and then they've gone to bed. My grandfather was a dairy farmer. My father grew up milking the cows before he became a professional coach at the top level. I have an ancestor who at 14 was droving cattle through lands that no white man had been through before, delivering mail. Now, this is wired into me. I believe it's deeply wired into me to be a high achiever, to be someone who wants to do more with himself. I credit my ancestors before that. I don't look down on anyone who doesn't have that, who doesn't want to achieve much in their life, who's happy to live comfortably in their village, bring up their children, and not go out and take on the world. That's fine. You decide. But if you know you want geographical freedom, if you know you want financial freedom, if you know you want an excellent body, then we've created a system that actually works and that connects men to each other who've made this decision. That's something really special. That's something really unique. And the contrast of the life that I'm living in this place and what I'm doing here, experiencing and thinking about things from the local perspective and what it's been like generation after generation here, where food is hyper abundant. They've got as much fish as they want. They've got as much coconut as they want. They've got as many bananas as they want. They've got as much taro root vegetables as they want. It's different. My ancestors lived in cold climate where if you didn't plan ahead, you died. And so it's wired into me to get after it. If it's wired into you to get after it, or you just decided that you're going to be the point of change, then here's an opportunity. You decide. If you find another way, if you know of something else that's better, then please let me know. I don't know of anything like the opportunity that I've created here, that we're building, but the goal is for it to be fully decentralized. You'll see already that the people who are in the program, they're becoming the stars of the show. There's a star of the show with the one-arm handstand in Ricardo Collins. There's a star of the show in sales with Mav and Josh leading sales, and Justin leading, recruitment and teaching people to feel comfortable about offering people opportunity and bring people into their offers. I'm not planning to be the star of the show for this. I don't plan for people to watch this video in the future. What I want to do right now is get to 1,000 players in this game of uncommon success, and that only those who are achieving results are able to stay. The bottom 10% will continue to be removed. The same as it is in elite sport. Only the best get to stay. What's cool about the team that I'm creating is that I can recruit players, as many players as I want, and I can train them as much as I can, as much as I want, to be able to build this ultimate team. And so that's the journey that I'm on. I'm doing my push-ups. I'm doing the work personally each day, offering this to people, building the app to a better level, improving the education system. It's not a one-man job, and our team is growing rapidly. I've been putting the offer out there for people to get involved as interns, to come and move to the villages, put themselves at the service of this thing, uncommon success, which is, it's not mine, it's not about me. It's about a way of living, it's about a philosophy of life, and it's working, and it's time for it to grow. It needs to grow very quickly in terms of the quality and the power of what it gets done. So only 1,000 places. That's all there will ever be. There will be a qualifier program. There will be a way to influence more people, because I know 1,000 is too small to really go a long way. But these 1,000 places are going to fill quite quickly. We've had 60 new players join this month with no paid advertising. We've barely even mentioned it on social media. But when people understand what the opportunity is here, when men look at this and they look at their alternatives, then they say, well, yes, $2,000, it's the best thing I could ever do. Personally, I would have given everything and anything to be part of something like this in my 20s. I traveled the world. I've been to over 50 countries. A lot of time I was looking for something like this. I was looking for a culture that I could be a part of. I was looking for an opportunity to express myself. Here it is now, and I love that I get to be a part of this thing. I play the game. I set up my one thing for the month in April, and I'm going to go after that one thing for the month in April, just like I went after the one thing for the month in March. In March, I wanted to bring 20 new people into this game at this new professional level. I actually achieved 60. I didn't think that 60 was realistic at that time. I didn't know what was possible, because we were just really starting with what we're doing there. The goal for this month, for April, is to develop the operating system, the life management system that is going to transform this organization. And I've already got great men on my team masterminding with me about building this system. How do you organize your life to get the most out of yourself? Time management, tasks that need to be done, models for business. And every month, I'm going to continue to go after it. What is the one thing for the month that makes the game better, that develops this team? What's your thing for the month? What's your thing for life? What's your bigger picture? If you weren't scared and you were going to get after it, where would you be 4 years from now? Where would you be 12 months from now? I can tell you that doing it alone, going it alone, you can only achieve a very small fraction of what you could achieve if you were on a winning team. Everybody knows this in sports. You don't see any boxer that just goes, I'm just going to train myself. I'm not going to be in a squad. I'm not going to have a coach. I'm not going to be sparring with people, and I'm going to be the world champion. You would just laugh at that person. But when it comes to business, when it comes to success in life, a lot of people have this attitude. A lot of men think they're going to do it on their own. I don't know one single man who's done it on their own. Everybody that I know that's extremely successful, I just looked at a man who has done hundreds of millions of dollars in business. He said he's invested 2.1 million in his own education. Now, you can't invest 2.1 million in your education, I'm guessing, because you probably don't have 2.1 million dollars. But you probably do have $2,000, and you probably have access to that. And we even have a payment plan. The thing is, what it takes is actually doing the work, shifting your identity, shifting the way you look at yourself, And that's what it's going to take to be an uncommon success. That's what it's going to take to remain in the game. You will be removed from the game if you are not an uncommon success. If you are not becoming athletic, richer, and smarter each month, if you are not turning up and adding value to the network, you will be removed from the game. The expectation is that you have at least one call each month with someone who is in the game of uncommon success. That guarantees that you remain in the rare energy of successful people. The problem is when you try and do it on your own, you're never going to get anything like the best out of yourself. Now, none of us are going to actually maximize our potential. It's not possible that I achieve anything like what I could have achieved had there been something like uncommon success that I was brought into as a young man. I could have learned a lot more languages. I could be a lot stronger. I could have a much stronger memory. I could have done all sorts of things that I haven't been able to do because I wasted a lot of my life. I wasted a lot of life force. I wasted a lot of energy drinking too much alcohol, wandering the earth, looking for something useful to do with myself. I've wasted a big part of my life, but here I am at 40 and I'm living this reality and I love it. And I'm going to do my best with whatever time I have left in this lifetime. And that's all we can do. You're never going to achieve anything like your potential, but you can achieve a lot more than you otherwise will if you can get yourself on an elite team. There aren't many elite teams out there who are going to offer you this athletic, richer, smarter, this path to geographical freedom, this path to financial freedom, this path to athletic freedom and the athletic ability. Is something very unique. This is not for people who aren't interested in developing their physicality. You just want to get rich quick. There's a million get rich quick offers out there. I don't know any of them that work. What I do know is that when you become more athletic, you become richer, you become smarter, when you do the work consistently, developing yourself physically, and you connect to other people who are doing that, there's no other choice, but your life is going to get better. And so I hope this makes a lot of sense. And I hope if you've been looking at my stuff over the years and you've sort of thought, oh, I wonder what he's up to. Maybe he's going to do something good one day. This is it. This is it. This is what I've been working for the last 20 years, to have these physical locations where people can improve themselves and to have an app that actually delivers the knowledge and the information that needs to be delivered, that gamifies the process so that we get more out of each other every day. I know when I'm face to face with professional athletes or with any man, I can get more out of a man. I've proven that over and over again at 2-day events, at 4-day events. What we have now is a system that works 365 days a year, and that's just going to keep getting better as this technology gets better. With the use of the new technology that's becoming more available now, artificial intelligence, it's going to be possible to ask me a question or any of the experts within Uncommon Success a question 24/7 and get the answer that you would get from that person. The technology is getting better and better, but most of the ways that it's being used are not that great. It's going to be used in the sex industry, it's going to be used in gambling, it's going to be used in whatever. What if we put all this technology to use to explore our potential, our possible progression? My obsession is our possible progression. That's what I'm giving my life to understanding and to building the system that optimizes that. We're learning languages, we're teaching music, we're learning handstands, we're getting strong, we're building businesses. There's nothing else out there that's taking on this challenge in the same way. But what else would we do? What else would you rather be doing? A lot of the men who I've spoken to this month, out of those 60 who've said, yeah, this sounds good, a lot of them are saying, well, yeah, this is what I always wished existed. Because it's what many of us have wished existed. An opportunity not just to be excellent at CrossFit or BJJ or whatever it is that you're being excellent at, but to carry that across to all areas of life. That's a rare thing. That's something that hasn't been done before. This is a world first, and I'm inviting you as one of the rare few who are going to see this. It's not going to be on paid ads. I'm inviting you as one of the rare few to come and experience it with us. If someone shared this with you, they probably care deeply about you, and they probably want you to understand that you're never going to get an opportunity like this again. This is a $12,000 a year program for a 4-year program. And right now it's available for $2,000. It's available for $2,000. There are some payment plan options as well for those who $2,000 is a lot of money to. It's a sad state, but there are a lot of men in the time that it's easiest, the easiest time ever to become wealthy, the easiest time ever to be doing well financially. There are a lot of people who don't have $2,000, and that's a shame. If you're working and you've worked for a number of years and you don't have access to $2,000, it's time to question things. It's time to question yourself. How did you get to this point? How did you get programmed to a point where you work, but you don't have any financial resources? That means you don't really have that much freedom. If you work without freedom, there's a word for that. There's a word for being someone who works without freedom. I don't like that word. I wouldn't use it for you, and I don't want you to be thinking that you are that thing. But there's an opportunity here. So if you're watching the video, if you've got this far, you probably know what you want to do, and I suggest that you do it. I don't know how you're going to ever find another opportunity like this. These villages are getting better and better. The app's getting better and better. The network is getting stronger and stronger. The value in this thing goes up significantly every day because it runs on the network effect. So every player who comes in adds more value to the network. Everyone who upgrades their abilities by doing better, being better physically, by progressing their juggling, their handstands, their push-ups, doing the same thing with their marketing skills, their sales skills, their business acumen, the ability to put together an offer, their ability to speak in public, their ability to create social media content. We have those same values in the physical. We have them in the business side as well, becoming richer or also becoming smarter. Like, this is not just about achievement. This is about deep fulfillment and doing something purposeful. We're meant to be building purposeful things that can last for a long time. There's a possibility that this culture that we create can last for millennia. Maybe it won't. Maybe that's a fairy tale and a fantasy that can't happen. But what if it could? What if we were creating a culture that could change the course of humanity, of mankind? What if we were creating a culture that was going to be passed down from generation to generation? What if that culture has already existed and we don't even know about it because someone who's driving the modern culture, the way that modern culture has been driven, is different, and that they have different ambitions? The people that are driving the modern culture, maybe they have different ambitions to the people who built the great structures of Western Europe and of the United States. There have been many great men, and they thought very differently to the way that men are thinking today. The way they educated themselves, the knowledge that they passed on to their children was very, very different. I want you to understand that knowledge. There are many clues about how they educated themselves, how they thought about the world, how they think that the body works, how they think that the mind works. There are great men who did great things, and that knowledge is not being shared today. The modern wealthy people are not sharing wisdom in that way. There are very, very few. It's a different way of looking at life. It's a different way of looking at success. We have an uncommon method of developing business. We have an uncommon method of developing the body. We have an uncommon method for developing the network, the connections that you wish you had, but you never have had. Reach out with any questions. I'm a human. This is not just a video that you can't get in contact with me. There probably will be a time in the future where it will be difficult to work together one-to-one or to get in contact. That time isn't now. Right now, if you get this and you're all in on it, I want to know. Let's go.